I'm starting a new series, and it's not as a Luigi Fungo Toonista. This is just my normal self. My normal self wears a beanie. It's a bit cool out here. I'll show you. I made a barbecue, and I'm going to make a video. Hey mate, is this going to be bloody funny? No, this is just going to be advice that you'd give one of your best mates. Because my mate and I have both written books. And I've written a number of books actually, but it's always as that dickhead with a bloody stupid hat on, Luigi Fungo Toonista. Whereas he's written his book as him. And strangely enough, it's a him that no one else knows about. So he's lived his life with a window of time where most people that know him know nothing about that part of his life. And the book that he's written is bloody fantastic. I've had the chance to read it chapter by chapter. So we're both on the journey of thinking about how you might market a book on the internet if you self-publish it. Yeah, with MagCloud or maybe Amazon if you're a glutton for punishment. It's a hard road to hoe because you need to somehow or other market your book. So in my case, it's more bloody difficult because my book's been written by a bit of a dickhead. So that means I've got to expose myself on social media as a complete moron. And some of my other characters, Bruce and DePiff, equally moronic. But in the case of my mate Eminem, what I think he should really do is he should start off on TikTok and do a series of maybe 15 seconds or 20 seconds, maybe half a minute, little videos just exactly about some of his experiences. Right, so in a foreign country, I'll let him tell you about where that is and what that is, but eventually that might lead to him finding a number of people that are in a little niche, are really interested to doing the sorts of things that he did in this Asian country. So ultimately, in the long run, when you've established yourself with a group of people that are interested in what you're doing, you've got some chance then of publishing your book. But you might take little extracts out of your book, photographs or stories or whatever. So at some point in time, when you're ready to publish the book, you've got like some sort of a basis of people that are might be interested in buying the book. So what I've found is that you can forget about your bloody your friends, right? Your friends don't come into it. Most of your friends, even if they've known you for 100 years or they work with you, they're going to assume they know what you're capable of, right? And they can tell you what you can't do or what you're not capable of doing or whatever, but it's up to you to know what you think you can do and be persistent. So it could be a bit of a hard road to hoe, but forget about your friends. Form new friends that are actually interested in what you're interested in, I found that most of my friends, you say, oh, look, I got this on MagCloud, it's $6. It could break the bloody bank, Oh no, it's all too hard. It's either too hard because it means you've got to register on the internet, right, which is a big jump for some people, or they're a bit skint, and why would you spend $6 on something that you know is going to be shit? So, like when you first start off, it's probably interesting to get some feedback from your friends, but what you've got to expect is it's going to be bad, especially if you're used to abusing your friends from school and things like that, So you just have to have a thick skin. And when you start off, it's not going to be bloody easy making a video. You're going to look stupid a lot of the time. But after a while, you might figure out a bit more about how you edit a movie, how you add music, how you try and figure out what the SEOs should be that suit, your niche. How you get a hook right at the beginning, you do something stupid, people look, and then you show them a bit of writing or something. By the time they've read it, 6 seconds is up. So that first 6 seconds is really important when you're doing a video. And then, because people have got a short attention span, it's got to be whoop, whoop, whoop. So you need about 4 or 5 things within about 20 seconds that someone's just absorbed one bit of information and whoop, give them something else. So this series of videos are not going to be like that. They're just going to be me giving some advice to a mate. I'm going to call it Hi Mate. So he might not want to accept all this advice, but some other people out there might be like him and me. They might have written a book, or they want to write a book. So then they're wondering, how the hell would I bloody ever market it on the internet? Or should I get an agent or something? Well, maybe you could. There's a lot of things that I haven't tried, but I want to see if I can market something that is like about 60 pages initially, which I did for a bit of fun. But ultimately, I've written a book that to me is very, very important. It's about like a really fantastic, beautiful, talented woman who had the start of dementia. I met her when she was in her early 80s. She was an international ballet dancer. She went over to Sadler's Wells, worked as a nanny part-time with all the hoi polloi royalty in London, came back to New Zealand and went back to high school, did a high school certificate, studied nursing, then decided just up stumps and go and live in a leper colony in the north of India. So she'd be sleeping on a timber bed during the week, and on weekends be invited out by the royalty to polo matches and things like that. So she was coming in contact with the lepers who were really poorly treated, and then the British sort of expatriate community and all the Indian royalty. So it was that was an incredible sort of part of her story. But then she eventually came back to Australia and studied to become a doctor, and she was one of the pioneers in IVF. So after that, she worked in a place called Pete Island, which was sort of an asylum, and that was a really interesting exercise. And then she became a poet. She had a boyfriend who was a poet, and her poetry was published in 35 countries. She won all sorts of awards. So I'll tell you bit by bit a bit more about her. Her name is Susan Adams. You Google her, you see some of her poetry. But to me, it was absolutely bloody fantastic. So, little bit by little bit, I'm going to impart some of my vast knowledge that I've gleaned over the last 2 months on how to market a book on social media. Ciao for now.